We have 4 creators here who have made the jump to full-time, and they're going to share with us a little bit about their stories, their journeys, and give us some inspiration on building our influencer businesses. So please join me in welcoming to the stage Allie Hunter, Jailyn Tamia, Ashley Lopez, and Alyssa Lenore. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining us. So let's start with introductions. Maybe each of you could share with the crowd a little bit about yourselves, what kind of content you create, how long you've been with the Amazon Influencer Program, and when you went full-time.
Yes, I am Allie Hunter, Allie P Hunter on social media, and I have been in the Amazon Influencer Program since January of 2019, and that's when I got my start as a content creator. So I do share fashion, home, and beauty, and everything in between. I got my start with Amazon Fashion, and before I was a full-time content creator, I worked in corporate software for 8 years, and I said goodbye to the corporate world in December of 2020.
Awesome. Jailyn, we can go down the row.
Okay. Hey guys, my name is Jailyn Tamia at the Jailyn Tamia on all platforms. My expertise is beauty, mostly wigs, makeup, skincare, fashion, home, just me. I started with the Amazon Influencer Program literally a little over a year ago, like last summer, went viral. I lost my job not because of COVID, during COVID, but not because of COVID. And I was a preschool teacher, and I love to teach. I love kids. But God just had bigger plans for me, obviously. So yeah, that's me. That's how it started.
Amazing. Ashley.
Hi, everybody. I'm Ashley Lopez, also known as Super Ashley 127. We can keep out the numbers. On TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. My platform is mainly plus-size fashion with a little dabble of beauty, lifestyle, just like Jailyn said, my life. I've been on an Amazon influencer for about 2 years now, and I became a full-time content creator back in 2017 because I very prematurely quit my job, but I like to say full-time, actually making money, 2020.
Hi, everyone. I'm Alyssa Lenore at alyssa.lenore on all platforms. I have been a full-time content creator since I graduated college in 2016. And so it's definitely been a very long journey, but very fulfilling. I have been a part of the Amazon Influencer Program since 2019. I started out focusing on mainly fashion, but then over the years have transitioned into travel and lifestyle.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. So, Alyssa and Jailyn, let's start with you. You all have been creators for a few years now. And so, did you have a moment, or when was the moment, when you realized this could be a full-time thing? And tell us a little bit about it. Go for it, Jailyn.
So, like I said, I was a preschool teacher. I was actually in college. I mean, I changed my major a few times. I'm sure some of you can relate. But the last time I was in college before I went full-time was to be a teacher. And I was a preschool teacher. Like I said, I lost my job. It was totally unfair. But I felt like it was just a sign, like, go ahead and go full-time. Like, I've always been an entrepreneur. Like, everybody from my hometown knows, like, one thing about Jailyn, she can get some money. So I was just like, okay, let me see what I can do. And as soon as I put the faith, the hard work, I just started going crazy. Like, I've never seen so much money. Like, so I was just like, just in disbelief because I'm so young, and it's kind of scary though because no one really believed in this kind of work. Like, they're like, what are you doing? Like, you're just gonna post and think your bills are gonna be paid? Like, you can't get an apartment like that. But here I am. This year, I've been in my apartment for a year. I'm back in school pursuing a degree in business administration, and I'm happy.
Love to hear it. How about you, Alyssa?
So I have basically been present on so many forms of social media, like MySpace, Tumblr, and then everything shifted over to Instagram. So because of my following on Tumblr that shifted over, I started creating content while I was in school, launched my blog in 2013, and that was basically my creative outlet while I was getting my degree. So by the time I graduated college in 2016, I had a solid enough following. I was seeing campaigns more and more frequently. And in that time frame, the content creation space and just like the landscape grew so much. I had already been in school 6 years because I switched majors. And so I wanted to give myself the summer off and just really focus on my blog. And that summer was just a tremendous amount of growth. And I remember giving myself a timeline of, okay, just take this summer off, apply for your jobs in the fall. And by the end of that summer, I had gotten an opportunity to travel to Italy with a brand who also flew my then boyfriend, now husband, to Italy. And I just remember being on that trip and thinking, if this is what can come out of it after just like a summer of focus, what more? And especially because it was still so new, I felt like I didn't have anything to lose, and I might as well just see where it goes, because it had already grown so much within those years that I was in school, and here we are.
Taking the time to focus, definitely have heard that from a few people. And so Allie and Ashley, since you both, as you just told us, quit full-time jobs to do this, tell us a little bit about like what happened right after. Like what was different?
Yeah, well, for me, I think the mental health aspect after not working 2 jobs anymore was amazing. And then kind of like Jailyn said, like the earning possibilities with Amazon are just unmatched. So for me, being able to focus all of my time and all of my efforts into my content creation, I was able to grow so much more. And I really enjoyed it. And that was the biggest thing. I was enjoying life, enjoying what I was doing, because it's obviously very hard to find that balance when you are working 2 jobs.
Yeah, so like I told you guys before, I kind of really prematurely quit my job because I just kind of hated my life there. So what the biggest change for me was like, this job, the money is not secure at all. So it was really like a huge leap of faith to really believing in myself. And also, I mean, not having to work for anybody else was like, I'm a Sagittarius, so that was amazing. But being, on your own schedule, on your own timeline, there's nobody there to push you. You don't have a manager, a supervisor. Like, if you don't put in the work yourself, you don't get paid. Your bills don't get paid. So I wouldn't give anybody this advice to prematurely quit your job, but I would say if you are in a place where you just really want to take that leap of faith and go for it, just know that you're going to figure it out, and that might be actually the push that you need to do the thing and live the dream.
A little bit of pressure. A little bit. Yeah. And so tell us a little bit about how the Amazon Influencer Program was part of that transition for you.
For the Amazon Influencer Program, for me, I think, kind of like I said, the earning potential is unmatched, especially with how many avenues you have available to earn, whether it's, you're really good at being live. You can do Amazon Lives, or, if you have a really big social media following, you can post try-ons and go kind of more the standard influencer route. So I think there's just so many different ways that you can create content on Amazon that really helps as well. For me, before leaving my corporate job, I had a financial goal in mind to hit. So I hit that in June of 2020, and I didn't actually quit till December because I was actually I was getting a bonus in December. So to be honest, I waited it out, got that bonus, and then I pieced out. But for the program, there was just so many opportunities, and I was able to just kind of keep going and keep going and keep going to where I could hit that financial goal before leaving.
I think for me, even like a year later, they just don't stop with the earning opportunities. It's like you can earn here, 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 here. So why not like invest your time in this program? There's Amazon Live, there's Connect with Brands, there's Creator Ads, there's Shoppable Video. Like, should I keep going? Like, there's so many.
Keep going.
There's so many earning opportunities, and you get to meet so many people at these events, and that opens more doors, and more brands are reaching out. So it just does not stop. Like, you just got to do it. You just got to invest that time and be disciplined. Look into everything that they have to offer. I feel like all of the, little segments and things we had today, like, listen to that. Like, that's good information. I'm taking advantage of everything, and you guys should too.
And I also think with that, not only the content opportunities with earnings, but Alyssa and I were just talking about how we got our start in fashion, but anybody in any industry can be an Amazon influencer, link, and earn commission because Amazon has everything, which is also another benefit there.
Yeah.
And Ashley.
Kind of to build off of what these two ladies just said, the opportunity is endless because Amazon is one of the only places that you can get literally anything. So it doesn't matter what your niche, you're really suggesting products you know and love and want to suggest because they have everything. So you're not boxed in, it doesn't matter what your niche, like there's something for you to share. And so it becomes more organic and genuine because you're really using those products as opposed to maybe a typical ad campaign. But also, like Jailyn was saying, like you really get out of it what you put into it. So at first when I joined the influencer program, it was kind of more passive because I didn't really see what it could be. And then, one TikTok got more views than usual, and I saw one bra make me so much money, and I was like, wait a second, if I just keep doing this a little bit more, okay, cool. So you really do get out of it what you put into it. If you want to put more energy into it, then you can make a lot of money. But if your focus is on something else at that point, like Allie being pregnant right now, maybe she doesn't have enough time or energy to push out as much content as usual, it can be, kind of passive and still make you money without all of the effort.
I mean, also just because Amazon has quite a range with pricing too, you can reach so many different types of audiences. And I think also what I've noticed for me, because I got into lifestyle, Amazon has been so easy to link throughout the years, like when my fiance and I got our house, and then when I was buying wedding things. And also just the community that I've built over the years. I'm not even pushing it to the point where I feel like I'm pitching it too much. My community trusts me, and I literally get messages from my audience asking, hey, do you have an affiliate link for this? Because I would love to support you, which is the craziest thing because they are actually invested in what you're doing and believe in you. And so I genuinely believe that really honing in on your community and just having their trust is so valuable, and they genuinely just want to support you. And I think that's just so amazing, especially for a program like this.
Awesome. So glad we're recording this. Amazing. So let's talk a little bit about balance. For creators who haven't made the jump yet to full-time, they might be, they essentially have two jobs. They have their full-time job and their content creation business that they're trying to get off the ground. So what are some tips you all have for pre-jump, how you balance?
My biggest tip in this area, I know it's hard. The balance aspect it's a lot. So if you are in that position where you're working two jobs, the biggest tip I had and what I did that really gave me just some peace of mind is to develop a minimum. What equals a successful day for you in your side hustle or in your Amazon business right now? And make that a minimum. And every day, that's what you hit. And if you can overachieve it, that's amazing. But if that's all you did that day, whether it's X amount of content you created or X amount of stories you posted or a TikTok that you posted, having those guidelines, since there is absolutely no guidelines in this business and in this industry, you can go to bed at night saying, okay, check, I did everything I needed to do to run my Amazon business today. Even if you didn't kill it that day, you did what you needed to do, and you can go to bed saying, you can feel accomplished versus just overworked and did you do enough, and always kind of having that looming feeling over you.
So setting a daily goal. I love that. What about you guys?
I agree. I'm super into Google Calendar, being organized and just disciplined. If you can master discipline, you can succeed in anything you want to do. But I really just feel like my biggest tip would be take notes from your job before you quit. Like, you need the exact structure that your job has. Okay, you clock in at 7. When you take that leap, you need to still get up and get ready for work at 7 o'clock. You need to take a lunch break. You need another break. You just need the structure of a job. Like, I feel like that's how I'm so successful. And then outsourcing, like, if you can get an assistant, or like get your sister or your brother, like, hey, can you check these emails? Like, it's getting a little overwhelming. Like, I have a little cash for you. If you could just get that done for me real quick, stuff like that. So outsourcing, take structure from your job. Those are my 2 biggest tips.
I would say if you still are working 2 jobs, the biggest thing is going to be batch shooting. Like, literally just take 1 to 2. If it's the weekend, then it's the weekend. If you still want some little bit of weekend, just take 1 day to really lock in and organize yourself before. During the week on your lunch break, put, I'm going to film this, and that. We're going to shoot these campaigns, these pictures, and really just dedicate 1 day to getting it all done. So that way you're set up for the rest of the week. You've got posts ready to go. So you're not, because we all know this, consistency is so key when it comes to being a content creator, because if the internet doesn't see your face, you don't exist. So,
and brands don't know you exist either.
Exactly.
If you don't post, so no opportunities there.
Yeah. So the more you have to be pushing out regular content in order to get to a point where you can quit your job. So definitely batch shoot. Just lock in for 1 day. You might be really tired at the end of that 1 day, but you'll survive, and you'll be so thankful to yourself for the rest of the week.
I was scheduling out a lot because when I started creating content, I was still a full-time student. I was also working part-time retail. Looking back, I don't know how I did it because I was commuting into the city every day, but then I would plan out, okay, I'm gonna be in the city. I have a break between classes. Let me see if I can go shoot and create some content. But time management is a huge thing, but also going full-time doesn't necessarily mean you need to make this a 24/7. So set boundaries, because you are no good to anyone if you are burnt out from it. You can't pour from an empty cup. And I feel like we've all experienced that at some point. And it's hard to shake yourself out of it once you get to that point. So just, manage your time really well and do what you gotta do.
Because creator guilt is really real. I know if I don't film 1 thing in a workday, I'm like, I didn't do anything, even though I did a million things.
So those are great tips. And Jailyn, you actually brought up a question we get a lot that people are interested in, which is what types of tasks do you outsource?
So for me, I have a team. I have a full service team. I have a hairstylist, I have a makeup artist, I have an assistant, and I'll actually be hiring more soon because I just feel like I deserve to relax. I feel like I do a lot, but no, seriously, I feel like I do a lot of brain work. Like, I'm in school, and then you have to have a calendar. There are emails. It's just really a lot of planning that goes into, and not even I'm planning for tomorrow. I'm planning months ahead, a year ahead. So it's a lot that you have to do, and I rely on my team. Sometimes I don't feel like doing my hair. I'm going to get my hairstylist to do it. I know how to do my own makeup. I'm going to get my makeup artist to do it, especially if I have to film a fashion haul, then I have a photo shoot and stuff like that. Yes, I can do my own hair. Yes, I can do my own makeup, but is it worth running myself into the ground? Because next month I might not want to do this anymore because I'm not giving myself grace and time to just, because this is a job. It's fun. Don't get me wrong. I know everybody's like, oh, I wish. But it can quickly turn into a 25/8. So that's the importance of outsourcing and just having a team and stuff like that.
For me, I have an assistant, and I love her to death because I'm not an organized person, and she keeps me organized. She keeps my office clean. It's amazing. I used to have a video editor, and I went because editing, y'all probably know, it takes so much more time than actually filming the content. So I actually taught my assistant how to edit so I could get rid of an extra expense, the other video editor. And then I also, you reminded me, weekly blowouts, that's a big thing I outsource. Because if my hair doesn't look good, then I can't film. Yeah.
Hair's a big deal. We all know that. Okay. Another question we get a lot, Allie, I'd love to hear from you, is you push out a lot of content, and a lot of creators, they worry about like feeling salesy when they're promoting their storefronts. So how do you think about that and, work that into your content?
Yeah, I think that can be a struggle for everyone, especially when you're, first getting started or when you're growing, is how to go about that. But when you're sharing something authentically, when you kind of set the expectation for what somebody can get when they come to your account, like people who come to my account are expecting to see finds from Amazon, sales from Amazon, and that's what they're used to. And if you're enjoying your content, if you're enjoying these products, it will shine through to your audience. So just making it real, making it authentic, and sharing what you love, your audience will see that and it won't feel salesy.
And Alyssa, Jailyn, as our student/influencers, tell us a little bit about like what that specific journey is like and what tips you have for other people in that position.
I was up this morning finishing a paper. So I would just say again, Google Calendar, they need to sponsor me. Google Calendar is my absolute best friend. Like, I will get on there and just arrange my whole life. Like, that keeps me so organized. It lets me know, hey, you have an hour doing this. You need to put your phone down, get it done. You got a degree to get. Like, you can't be playing. That's why I say, like, discipline is important. Consistency, like you were saying, that's super important. Sometimes it gets hard, though, because it's like, you're making money without a degree. So sometimes it's just like, do I really need to turn in this paper? But I just feel like my degree is really, really important because I'm in business and I need to know the ins and outs. So it's worth it, but it's tough,
I mean, while I was in school, I graduated 2016, and at the time I feel like the space was still so new. So I didn't have access to all the tools that are available to creators now. So utilize it, and there are so many more people that are already in the industry that you can really learn from. And so don't be afraid to just DM someone, message them, ask for tips or advice. Because at the time, it was still very much so like, oh, I can earn money from this. And so having all of these tools now, you really have so many like lanes or avenues that you can take in order to be successful. And don't get discouraged by the industry being a lot bigger now, because I still believe that there is still space for everyone, especially if you bring your personality to the table. That is what is going to get a community to really spend time getting to know you. Like, you can have a post go viral. And I remember hearing this once before. Okay, there's something that is going to make them notice you, but what are you doing that's going to make them stay?
So Ashley and Allie, tell us like your biggest learning going to full time.
My biggest learning, Jailyn kind of talked about this earlier, is taking your schedule, taking your mentality that you have right now in a corporate job into your Amazon business. You're still waking up, you're still keeping that schedule and making sure that you're putting in the same amount of professionalism, the same amount of effort and time into this business as you are your corporate job. The lines in this industry can get so blurred on what is personal and what is work and business, and to be able to continue to run this business like a business. It's your business and it's up to you on how you want to manage it. And if you are in the corporate world, you're learning so many great habits. You have so many great skills. So take that and take advantage of it and use that in your business now. I talked earlier about Excel and things like that. So if you are in the corporate world, you have some amazing skills that are so beneficial in the creator industry. So just taking that corporate mentality, but placing it on your Amazon business.
My biggest learning was definitely that this job, as glamorous and as amazing as it looks to people that haven't done it before, it is 24/7. Like, there's really no official off time, because even if you're not on camera, your content is still up, you're still receiving comments, sales, everything. So you really have to set those boundaries for yourself and like these are my office hours. This is when I'm answering comments. This is when I'm answering emails, because the same way I said earlier, like if you don't have a supervisor or a boss to set that structure for you, you also need to be that person that sets those boundaries, because it's not clock in at 9, clock out at 5, and you're done for the day. Like it really is a 24/7 job. So you have to set those boundaries and make sure that you're taking care of your mental well-being and not over like pushing yourself too hard. So it's really a fine balance, because obviously you want to grow and get bigger and do more for your business. But I can't remember who said it earlier, but you really, I think it was Alyssa, you can't pour from an empty cup. You really have to, take the time to sit back and relax, honestly.
So last question, let's leave everybody with like 1 to 2 practical tips that they could take away.
I think we've all said it a few times, but consistency, just the consistency in your posting routine, and then consistency in what you are delivering to your audience. When someone comes to your page, you want them to know exactly what they're gonna get. You want them to seek you out for exactly what they're looking for and what they want. So consistency and just setting that expectation with your audience.
I'm going to reiterate that consistency. A lot of times I feel like people DM me, like people my age, I'm like 22, so a lot of people are like, okay, if she's young, like I can do it too, and I'm like, yeah, and they're like, okay, so give me some tips, girl, and I'm like, consistency, dedication, discipline. Like it sounds cliche, but look it up, like study that stuff is important. Like if you can't keep going for a week, if you can't keep going for a month, you may need to stay at your corporate job, because they're going to make sure you keep going for them. So yeah, consistency, discipline, and like I said earlier, take that structure from that job. Like it's so important, because they are a boss at the end of the day. They run a business. You want to be a boss. You want to run a business. I would ask them questions about taxes, payroll, everything. Like, tell me what you know. So take advantage of your corporate job and be consistent, disciplined, and things like that.
I would say take advantage of also all of the skills that you learn as a content creator. Like we're kind of a one-man show for a lot, or before you're able to hire a team. So if there's a point, because also this money isn't completely consistent, especially in the beginning. So if there's a point where you're not making as much as you want to, maybe you can offer some video editing services to somebody, or some social media consulting to a brand, or take advantage of all that you've learned as a content creator, and don't be afraid to use that to your advantage, and maybe even start a whole other business just from the stuff that you learned doing what you love.
I think also, just to add on to that, never stop being open to learning, because as much as we can all feel like we're very familiar or know how to do certain things, there's always room for growth. And also just knowing when to outsource or ask for help in areas that you might not be great in. So I remember one of my managers, when I was working retail years ago, I was feeling so overwhelmed and so burnt out, and I was literally crying in front of him, telling him I didn't know how I was going to do everything, and he just told me, Alyssa, you can do anything you want, but you can't do everything. And so I think just always remember to put yourself first and take care of yourself in this industry. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you all so much for sharing your journeys with us. We really appreciate it, and I think I speak for everyone when we say we learned so much here. So thank you here for joining us. Give them a big round of applause. And thank you to you all for joining us for the first day of the Amazon Creator Summit.